So I've been reading this book by Robert Greene, Daily Laws, and I've been watching a lot of his videos. And for those of you who know a bit of his work, he talks a lot about strategies and in terms of human relations, in terms of how you operate in the workplace, how to climb the ladder and things like this. And I find a lot of his thoughts quite aligned with traditional Asian culture or my culture, Chinese culture. Some of his line of thinking are very much aligned with the way that I was brought up, actually. For example, to play yourself down a little bit, to one of the things he said in here, for example, is to seem dumber than your mark. And he said to seem less intelligent than you are, basically. And also things like basically to make yourself down, to make other people feel good about themselves, so other people wouldn't feel threatened by you and would like to keep you around and maybe even give you opportunities because they wouldn't feel uncomfortable and threatened by your presence. Well, I mean, I appreciate a lot of the things he had written about and talked about. But on this point in particular, I've always been a bit dubious about that, or I don't think I necessarily agree, or I think especially growing up in the culture that I grew up in. And, I was taught, like, especially as a woman also, I was taught to play dumb. I was taught to be small. Like, I was taught to make other people feel good about themselves. So yeah, I was taught to be like this. I was taught to play small, do not seem so smart, do not show off, and try to pump other people up, but and play yourself down and speak low. But in the background, you should be working hard, and that is to be seen as smart, the way that I was brought up. And the problem I find with this is that I find and I see other people, especially other women or other girls growing up, it's like the more you play into a character, you become that character. The more you play them, the more it's like the more you play that role of pumping other people up and playing yourself down. Like in Chinese culture, it's very common. It's like, you try not to show off and say, I am so great. I am this and that. Again, especially when you're a woman, at least at the time when I was growing up. And, you don't show off. You know your place. And, but yeah, in the background, you can be working hard. And that worked for some people. I see that. Like some people, they would work really hard in the background, and then they will surprise you with their success. I mean, that happens, but at the same time, I also see a lot of people, and I see that as a real problem, that the more you play into a character, the more you play that role, the more although you're pretending, yeah, but that role can become you. You can become that. By playing dumb, you can really become dumb. Like you just become this person that you are pretending to be in front of other people. And because, the way that you behave around others evoke a feedback, right, of how other people will see you and treat you. And if you are playing small, you're playing dumb, you're saying like, oh, I'm nothing, I'm very humble, I'm just, nothing so great about me. Other people can take that as, okay, that's how you are, then that's how you are. And, and people are more likely to treat you with disrespect. They may think you're just naive. They may even bully you. They may take advantage of you. Then what are you gonna do? Are you, like, how much of this role are you gonna play? And if people really assume that you are dumb, you are naive, you are not worthy of respect at the end of the day, because to play these, you need to be very careful about playing this character. To play a dumb and small and sort of naive character, harmless character, there is certain risk to that. By playing that, and other people will treat you a certain way. And then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stand up and defend yourself? How are you gonna defend yourself? Are you gonna break your character? So he this is a point that he emphasized a lot, of not show off and to avoid so as to avoid jealousy and hatred from others, and because that is an evil eye in a way, and that is a real thing, and I do see a point in there. At the same time, it's like in actuality, it is not that simple. Again, I do think I have to say that culture and gender play a role, and age, all of it, and social economical status, and even your look, all of it, there's many things that play a part in this, apart from just simply, if you're too smart, you can attract too much attention, then you need to play dumb, or if you have money, hide it. If you are beautiful, don't try to show off too much of your beauty, and so people are not jealous of you. That's a point. I get it. At the same time, it's like, you might be beautiful, but you might be poor. There's many different kind of mixture of what you are being seen as at an advantage of, that other people might be jealous of, and other aspects of you might not. Other aspects of you might naturally be at the lower end of the social status. So my point is just like, I think the situation in real life is much more complicated than just simply giving you a kind of instruction, don't show off, don't be so clever, avoid jealousy, hide your intelligence a little bit, or hide your ambitions a little bit, and things like that. And this is also kind of contradictory to the Western, kind of a popular Western idea that about authenticity, about speaking out for yourself and stand up for yourself, and especially for people who traditionally have not had much power, right? And about empowerment for people, and authenticity, and to be honest and truthful, and to try to connect with people in the most authentic way, which is a more spiritual standpoint than to approach relationships and whatever, an environment, community, workplace, in a more open-hearted and vulnerable and a way that is the intention of which is to really truly connect with others. It's through this process of truly opening up yourself and be authentic, with yourself and be authentic with others, through this process of being authentic with others, you can then see that kind of enhance back to you, so you can be even more authentic with yourself. Like, that's what I also see, the value in authenticity, the value in not playing these kind of strategic games. And that's a different approach, right? So I'm not trying to say, which approach is right or wrong, but I do find, just personally, thinking how I operate in the world, I personally find it to be a tension there. I honestly find being strategic, as he says, although it's useful to read about and to know about and to be informed about a lot of things that he said, power dynamics and people's shadow side and jealousy and things like this. It's useful to know, but in terms of like, how you as an individual, as a young person or young adult person operating in the world, I don't know if what he's saying is kind of a law to be named, a law that you follow as someone who wants to succeed in the world. That's certainly, I certainly don't see that as necessarily the only way, or even an important way. I'm very skeptical about it. And back to authenticity, I find that a very important thing about not pretending. Authenticity is very liberating. You might not have, many friends. And friends can turn enemies in the blink of an eye anyways. But anyways, you might not have much people you can say you're friend or even friendly with. But the people that you do connect with, the people that that did stay in your life, at least for a period of time, well, at least the connection is authentic, right? At least you know that the people in your life, they are connecting with you as, your, in a way, authentic self. And I don't want to throw the jargon authentic self very carelessly, because we don't know who we are, really. We're all just a bunch of personalities and imprint and things like this. So, but I don't want to go there now, because that's another topic. But I do think there is a way of approaching life, approaching others, approaching interactions, approaching yourself that is more authentic, that is more honest. You can say that is more of a natural or straightforward way. I think it was said in Buddhism, the greatest virtue is to be normal, or something around that line. The greatest virtue is just to be normal. And when you observe great Buddhist masters, like for example the Dalai Lama, like there's something very natural about these great masters, like when they interact with people and how they behave, and it's just very normal. And by normal, I think it means authentic, it means honest, it means there's no pretense of any kind. I think there was a story about Dalai Lama like farting on the plane, on the airplane. And yeah, and he was like joking about that himself. just or their account of the Dalai Lama who was attending some in some meetings, and he just kind of like touching, like try to fix here and there, and like a little kid. And but then when he's serious, he's very serious, but like when he's like kind of like a kid, he's kind of like a kid. Like, the point being, there's a sense of naturalness, there's a sense of normal, there's a sense of authenticity there that is genuine, that is a genuine person, that is just a natural way of being, a comfortable way of being. And I personally find that to be very beautiful. These laws and these strategies, and again, I have been helped by many of the things he said in terms of looking at social situations much more clearly, and to mature myself in many ways. So I really appreciate his work, but on this point in particular, I'm not sure if I agree with him, and that is something I want to share here.